My name is Steve Babitsky, and I'm the president of SEAK, and I'm here with my partner, James Mangraviti. We're going to be demonstrating a frontal attack on an expert witness. Expert witnessing is not for the faint of heart, and those people who become expert witnesses have to be ready to be attacked head-on in a frontal assault by counsel. And we're going to demonstrate this in a little demonstration. You with me, Jim?
Yes, sir.
Sir, how much did they have to pay you today to come here to testify to let this serial rapist out of prison?
You're asking me how much I'm being paid?
How much did they have to pay you to come here today to testify to let this serial rapist out of prison? Do you understand the question?
I think you're asking me how much I'm being paid. It's $400 an hour.
And he's a serial rapist, right?
He was convicted of rape twice. No, he's not a serial rapist because that would be 3 times. He's only been convicted twice.
Oh, so under California law, in order to be a serial rapist, you have to rape 3 people, and so far he's only raped 2 people. Is that right?
That's correct.
So the next time when he rapes the 3rd person, then he will be a serial rapist, right?
Well, you're assuming he would rape a 3rd person.
When he's released, if he's released, right?
Well, my opinion is he won't.
Now, you stated in your $7,500 report that he's at low risk for recidivism, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And what is the chances that he's going to rape again if you're successful and you get him out of prison today?
Well, it's low. That's what we just said.
And is it 5%, sir?
Well, it's low.
Well, is it 10%, sir?
It's low.
Well, can you testify with predictability as to the chances he's going to rape the 3rd person so he can be qualified as a serial rapist?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And is it 50%, sir?
It's low.
Well, so it's somewhere between 5% and 50%?
I didn't say that. It's low.
Do you know what the percentage chance of him being released from prison and raping the next person? Just yes or no. Do you know what it is?
Mathematically, no.
Okay. So you can't tell me if it's 5%, right?
I can just tell you that it's low.
You can't tell me if it's 5%. Do you follow this? These are simple numbers, 5%. You know what 5% means, right?
It could be 1%. I can't tell you. It's
oh,
not
it could be 1%. It could be 5%, right?
I can't tell you.
Could it be 5%?
I can't tell you that.
Could it be 10%?
I can't tell you that.
So what you're saying is you don't know the chances of him being released from prison raping another person.
Well, they're low.
You don't know what the chances are, right?
They're low.
And you, by the way, you volunteer to work in prison with sexual offenders, correct?
Yes, I do that willingly, yes.
And you do that so you control in the prisons to find these sexual predators, so then you could get hired for $7,500 and come to court today and try to get them released into the public so they may have to go and rape another person, so then you could say, now he's a serial rapist. Is that what your testimony is today?
No.
Let me ask you this, sir. Would your wife be happy if you're successful today and for your $7,500 you convince them to release the sexual predator and he moved in across the street from you?
You have to ask her.
You wouldn't care that a sexual predator moved in across the street from you, sir?
That's not what you asked me. And this
Would you be happy, sir, if he moved in across the street from you?
He's not a sexual predator. You'd have to do it 3 times for that.
Oh, well, he's a predator. He raped 2 people. He's not a serial offender.
Well, I wouldn't
well,
characterize
whether
him
he's a
as
serial offender or a serial rapist or he's a sexual predator, he's raped 2 people. You're here today for your $7,500 to release him into the public. And when I asked you if you would be concerned if he moved in next to your wife, you said, I would have to ask her. Is that your testimony here today, sir?
That's not what you asked me. You asked me if she would be concerned.
Are you concerned about your wife living across the street from this sexual predator? When you go to work, he's there with your wife. Are you concerned about that?
No, because he's a low risk, which I just testified to.
So he's only a 5% risk, God forbid, of raping somebody on your street or somebody in your family. Is that what it is, sir?
No.
Let me ask you this, sir. What's the only way that the state of California can guarantee that this gentleman doesn't rape anybody else?
Well, they could execute him, but I'm sure you're not recommending that.
Can you think of any other way where they can assure that he's not released and he can't rape anybody else in the public?
Well, by not releasing him, you would not release him.
So the only way you can assure the people of the state of California that this sexual predator, this rapist, doesn't rape anybody else is by keeping him in prison, sir. Is that correct?
Well, it's the same with anybody. I mean, if we threw you in prison, we could ensure that you would never commit another crime outside of prison. I mean, it's the same with everyone.
So you think this is funny, sir?
I don't think it's funny.
Let me ask you this, sir. Would you have this person babysit your children? Just yes or no, sir. Do you have to ask them, or can you answer this by yourself?
My children don't need babysitting.
You wouldn't? Would you want this person babysitting anybody's children? Can you answer that honestly, sir? Or your $7,500 doesn't cover that?
This person is not a pedophile.
Oh, he only rapes people over 18?
He had relations
Thank you very much, sir. We don't need to hear anything else from you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Jim Mangravitti has been very gracious in taking this awkward position in this demonstration. As you can see, depending upon the positions that you take as an expert witness, you may have to, and you will have to defend them. So what can SEAK do to help you with this type of work? As we mentioned before, we have several products and services that we can help you with. Number one, we have cross-examination seminars throughout the United States to help you get used to these kind of frontal attacks. We have books on cross-examination and testifying, which can help you as well. We also have a one-on-one service. So if you know you're going to be facing a serious frontal attack, Jim and I both work with expert witnesses to prepare them for serious depositions and serious trials. And so if you have a situation like this, you can go to our website, testifyingtraining.com. We are SEAK, the expert witness training company, and we can help you become a better expert witness.